We're live here from the car on our way from the Magistrates Court to RavenRoad and S7. S7's my postcode. And while we've been at the Magistrates Court supporting the right to peaceful protest and obviously trying to get them to stop cutting the trees down, we have found out from another supporter in S7 that while we've all been at court watching the protest and covering the protest and being in the protest, that the Amey crews have been out and going about, and they've gone to RavenRoad and Nether Edge, and they've actually been cutting a tree down. Well, that's the story so far, and we don't really know if that's what's happening or not. And so we're just going to go there, using the hands-free. Obviously, we're just going to go there and find out what's going on. So sorry about that. I had to actually look at the sat-nav for a minute, and it's not a street that I've heard of, RavenRoad, but it turns out that it's very close to where I live, and so we'll go and see what's going on. Few seconds really after this roundabout, we're going to be on part of Montgomery Road in S7 Sheffield, where you might see some yellow ribbons. Some have been removed, we're not sure why. Some have been removed, but there are 20 trees, and you can see the trees now. There are 20 trees which are due to be felled on this road. Most of them on this section of the road. You see a whole bunch coming up on the right hand side. Now I'll just slow down a bit, you can see them. And you know, if you look at the trees, first of all, if you look at the report, you'll see the reason is damage. By that they mean damage to the pavement. And if you look at the trees, all they're doing is putting the curb out a bit. And in fact, some of the trees are worse than the ones that they've said they want to cut down. So I'm just going to find somewhere to park here, and then we're going to go and take a look and see what's going on. So I do know this road actually. I've been here before. 2 trees on this road due to come down. One you'll see has already had the top chopped off of it. This tree needed to come down anyway, and they've cleaned it up a bit. But the other tree is a bit more controversial. The other tree is a bit more controversial because basically they want to take it down because it's blocking the pavement. Nothing wrong with the tree, it's leaning at a funny angle. Some people here already. The Amey crew's here having their lunch. It's a resident inside the cordon.
I'll say basically, if I'm arrested, there will be not charged, there will be a complaint made.
I don't know if you've seen today on the Police and Crime Commissioners, all of his letters have become public and they've gone to the press.
Yes, that's right.
It's now in the press this morning that the Police and Crime Commissioners disagreeing with the approach, and it's causing really bad reputational damage. So
Well, that's right.
They may have been briefed not to do this anymore.
I imagine
they may come today and say we're not getting involved.
Yep.
This is
No,
becoming
I
embarrassing.
imagine that. Sorry, I imagine that will be the case, and the police will reckon. Hello, Heather. Hello.
Yeah, they came up with Orgreave and Hillsborough. They don't want anything else.
Well, they've been
Hello?
officially criticised by the Commissioner now because he wasn't aware
Yeah.
of it. And they said,
Well-
what are you doing? It's all in the press today. You need to read
Having
today's
had
stuff.
the call, they'll be racking their brains what to do. So as long, it's absolutely vital that we are really calm and polite and don't cause any problems.
Is it, I'm recording this live. Is everyone okay with this being on Facebook?
That's fine, yeah.
If we don't want to be on, I can point away. I've just come from the Magistrates Court, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. So what's your name?
Graham Turnbull.
Oh, hi, Graham. We've not actually met. I'm Chris.
Chris Russ.
Russ, yeah.
Oh, nice to meet you. Okay.
Hi,
Hello,
Graham.
nice to meet you. I'm Sarah. Hi.
Sarah, hi Sarah.
And Ben, I was the one who posted that
Can I just ask you?
Oh, thank you.
message
Yeah.
to you. So one of the residents on here posted. I'm not sure which resident it was.
I'm not sure which resident either.
Yeah, just for now.
You might tell them you're only doing it for recording purposes. It's not posted.
I didn't even know you were there until I saw it back
No,
again.
definitely.
I'm sorry.
I'm
Yeah, I know
cool,
you
I'm
don't mind,
cool.
but I wasn't. I was looking at the tree and.
Yeah.
Once the police arrive.
So I've got to go.
That's okay. Well, we've got good support, Alison. Thank
You
you for
want a
coming.
cup of tea? Just
I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
ring me.
I'll be fine.
No, obviously only. But I saw that you were
Oh well.
So I understand the issue with this tree is that it's blocking the pavement.
Yeah.
I've been to see this tree before.
It overhangs the pavement,
Yeah.
and if this was a proper thoroughfare, then of course large vehicles could strike it and it could be dangerous. However, it's a cul-de-sac with parked cars,
Yeah.
and hardly any large vehicles come up here.
Yeah, it seems pretty quiet. A few houses down there.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hi, Dave. Hi, Dave.
Sneaky thing and
We expected this, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah, just as expected. While everyone was at the court protesting for peaceful protest, Amy's out here cutting a tree. No notices?
no notices. Any notices restricted?
No. It's a good point. I didn't see any notices. We'll have a look around later and see if there are any.
Not necessarily illegal.
We've got a crap phone signal here.
To move their cars, but if they did ask anyone to move their cars, it's really not. It's not illegal, but it's not right.
All right.
It's illegal, right?
Was there a car moved from here to there? So, Chris, you live on this road?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
There is someone who's not happy about it because they posted the message.
Right.
And they posted a tweet, so you could get
Okay.
in touch with them and find out.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known otherwise.
It's not right to be asking people to move cars without notice regularly.
So, no. Well, it'll be really interesting to see.
We've got good support here. Okay, mate. And they called the police, but
The criticism of the police. I bet they regret getting involved in Rustlings Road.
it's very lovely.
What do you think about this statement from the Police and Crime Commissioner that says the police, no extra police were used at Rustlings Road, it was just on-duty police covered it?
I'm sure that extra police were used. I saw all the extra police.
Street party.
All the extra police were there.
Can I just have a quick look? I can hold on to it, but as long as you're ready to get it off me. They may do it.
Yeah, they were horrible. Yeah.
Had a word with them and said, you know, what's all
Got a
this
feeling actually, you all
They described the protesters as criminals. Okay. My understanding is that they were charged under Section 241 of the Labor Union Act, and the charges were later dropped. Is that right?
no charges.
No charges have been brought. Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Waiting to see what they can do.
What's the position with the other trees? Are they all coming down? Or?
No, there are 2 trees, and there's that one.
That one's
was
gone.
badly diseased, and we always thought that it was a problem, and I'm quite relieved it was already down. Actually, so
ITV are on their way.
Pardon?
ITV are on their way.
ITV on the right.
It's going to be terrible
they're in town, aren't
publicity
they?
for them.
That's right.
There was,
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of media presence this morning.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter why they're coming down.
That's the downside of doing it while we're quite a clever little pump.
The police were called by them.
Not exactly sure. Good job.
Yeah.
They've got clear instructions.
Chris, Matt Turner's watching. Says hi from him and Emma.
Hello, Matt. Nice to hear you. Where are you? Timbuktu?
He might tell us in a comment where he is.
Yeah.
I suspect he's in Sheffield.
Possibly, yeah.
Yes, you better get over here and help
That's right.
us.
That's right.
I just had a thumbs up from him. Yeah, when you do Facebook Live, you really need someone else to join the feed so they can respond to comments and
that's
things
right,
like
yeah,
that.
that's
Because
right,
you can't respond to comments while you're doing
That's
this.
right. So we've now heard that because of the big media presence in town for the court case, there are a number of crews and ITV are on the way.
People who are in Sheffield who wouldn't normally be, but
Exactly,
conveniently.
yeah. So it's quite interesting.
Well, I was able to get here in 13 minutes, so.
What's your name?
John.
John, I'm Chris.
Hi, how are you?
If you're under the tree, you may get arrested.
Oh dear.
That's your privilege.
Do they have to give you notice that they're going to arrest you?
Oh yes, it's all very
Don't give
civilised.
us a warning. I'm afraid I don't have time to be arrested today.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. Well, I don't really either. But in fact, I'm going to meet you with Nick.
That's what I said at Marden Road. I said, how long does it take? I've got a conference call at 2 o'clock.
Hi, Paul.
Can I see some good?
That's great. This is the call-out phone. I was somebody else was going to hold it, but actually he's the better person to take it off me if I need. At the moment, I'm going to hit call-out. Here they are. ITV are on well, Calvin and Jules know what to do.
It's to help people who actually want to cut across the pickets for mines.
Yeah, thank you.
No ITV on the way.
Hello, hi Jack, how are you?
Alright, Chris. Hello. You're going to run out of people to get arrested.
Here, Paul. Paul
wait,
Selby?
who's he?
Yeah, I'm Graham Trimble. We're neighbours.
Graham.
Yeah,
Ah.
I'm recording this.
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Yes, fine.
Yeah,
I'm not going to get in the barrier. I can't book my
Yeah.
job, but
Okay.
to be here.
Yeah.
We've got 1, 2, 3, 4.
So I've seen, you live on Montgomery Road, I've seen all the yellow ribbons that are up there. and-
Yeah. Some of them have been ripped down, I think, though. But you know, we keep putting them back up.
Yeah. My wife has a theory that people might think that the council put them up as a way of marking which trees to cut down. And
No, it was us.
no, I know that, but we're just.
So it might be taking them
Other
down.
people it might not necessarily be vandalism. It might be that they're trying to help, but yeah, we need to get that word out, I guess.
Is it helpful or unhelpful for... I live on Montgomery Road as well.
Oh, right.
Helen Willows, live next to David Pierce.
Okay, right, yeah.
Is it helpful or unhelpful for us to put notices on the trees as well?
What,
Doesn't matter.
I say it's fine, as long as you do it like without damaging the tree.
Yeah.
Absolutely fine.
Don't spray anything on
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Kind of knew
No
it would
problem.
happen.
Please do. You know, the more the
And I'm
people
annoyed
do
myself because I was on
things
patrol,
to,
especially because of
I don't know,
and I missed that. I
celebrate
drove
them
past
rather than like make it a really
got
negative.
to look.
To make it
And I
celebrate.
was around the other trees,
You know,
had
like
a
this is a
couple of
lime
things.
tree. You know, blah blah blah. That's sort of good. Good. Yeah. Yeah. So it's good that a lot of people turned up.
But
Even though a lot of people are at court at the moment, aren't they?
Well, that's where I was on my way back.
Oh, right.
Yeah, same here.
Stopped to go into the shop, just check my phone, and it said RavenRoad now, so I came straight here.
I mean, I'm supposed to.
So am I.
I've taken the morning off, if my employer is watching this.
Without parked cars.
Anna Massey's on her way. Is that someone here?
There's 2 or 3 of these around Sheffield.
So what have they actually done? Something down,
That's down, that one.
which was the really ill one.
Yeah.
Which, you know,
Yeah, fair enough.
this one, they've not touched this tree yet.
We've got some ropes up it.
Yeah, oh no, they have been
Yeah,
down.
yeah there's some branches.
Well, we can look it up. We can look it up. I'm going to.
How many people could we get? Could you get a pushchair and a wheelchair through there?
Easy. Easy. Easy, that's well wider than the legal.
I mean, if you
What
live,
is, do we know what the legal is?
if you live on the,
I think I'm not an expert,
Yeah.
so I think it's 0.8 meters.
Not 0.8. Well, that's more than
Yeah.
0.8. Yeah.
I'm not an expert. You have
trees
to
are not
check that.
I mean,
Are you getting bored? Is that it?
oh yeah, that's
So are the police actually
A warbler, isn't she?
Brian Mosley's on his way now.
So hopefully ITV will arrive at the right time.
Yeah.
Got you covered in the...
Oh, I think that was probably on this. Oh no, it's off the floor, isn't it?
So a message here, Andrea Turno, following this from Abu Dhabi, where I can tell you if there is one thing I miss, it's the trees. Andrea Turno lived in Sheffield twice, most recently a few years ago, and he's always commenting on the lack of trees where he lives now. He says, I cannot believe what is happening over there.
Oh, just like they hadn't gone off the wicket. I thought they would come along and see. Oh.
Matt Turner is wondering if they put a felling notice on the Fargate Christmas tree yet.
Maybe we should make baubles and hang, just completely decorate it.
Are you aware there's Christmas lights on the tree on Rustlings Road
Yes,
now?
I am.
Yeah.
And lots of decorations on it as well.
Oh really? I haven't seen it recently.
Like photos on Facebook, just from time to time, the angle looks like it's too.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if that was
I
deliberate
prefer to
or
think
not.
it looks like a flying swan. Depends, you're right, it depends on what side you're on.
What mood you're in when you see
Yes. I have a little video of driving past it and you can see it from both sides. And, yeah.
but he's got the background.
Hi Hanako.
We can discuss what practically could be done, bearing in mind the pressure on the council, it's not going to solve anything. Pressure on Amey is going to solve something. And what he will want from campaigners is support what he thinks is wrong. We're not discussing it that way.
Okay, no.
Yeah, we're Paul Palmer.
Yeah.
I think Lisa CC'd in the wrong
Yeah.
and that the council has tried to come to and they're waiting to see if they get to be old enough.
Not sure. So there are millions.
We're going to go for a little walk now. Going to go into the cordoned area and if the police come we might have to leave. Or you can see what the issue is meant to be here. They're using the excuse that the tree is not leaving enough of a gap between that wall and the tree, so there's not enough room on the pavement to get pushchairs through or people through or whatever. You can see that the tree roots have disturbed the pavement somewhat. It's not too severe. It could probably be sorted out quite easily, I think. And you know, I'm just one person, but I think you could get 2 or 3 people through this gap. You'd have no trouble getting a wheelchair through here. You'd have no trouble getting a pushchair through here. It's just an excuse to cut down the trees, really. And as Chris was saying earlier, if you had a situation where this was on a main thoroughfare, you had traffic passing all the time, you could see it could be quite dangerous that a lorry could strike this tree. Probably wouldn't still be here, would it? So, you know, I would guess, given that it's on such a quiet road, it's not really causing trouble to anyone. You can see that more people are arriving all the time. I've had messages that more people are on the way. Amy's here, obviously not able to do any work, probably not too happy to get filmed. And I say Amey actually, but it's our friends Acorn Environmental Group, who are a local company based in Sheffield, I believe. They're a tree surgery, arboricultural consultants company. Likely they do big jobs like this for the council. I've seen them doing tree maintenance actually in the area. And obviously this is a tree that could have benefited from some maintenance, but it's too late now. It's not causing any trouble to anyone, and it'd be better if we just left it alone. So I've just had a tweet from Airware Sheffield, from their Airware Sheffield account, saying that exhaust fumes damage your health. It's a funny thing. The council are trying to promote right now people doing things to improve their quality, and at the same time they're cutting these trees down, which is quite incredible, really.
It's taken me a whole year to gain this knowledge about shamsies and elms and everything, because I've been talking to the experts across the country, but you know, it's a complex topic and the council don't understand it, nor do Amey, nor do the council's experts.
The chap that I'm talking about, I think he's written a letter. Is there anybody who's and he was somebody who's
Yeah.
Yeah.
I responded.
And I think he only joined the committee in order that he could campaign against four.
I responded, but...
So Chris, are you prepared to be arrested today?
If necessary, yes, of course.
Which is fine, because mine was a
We
technical
have to challenge
Helen's
the
was
case that's
like
being
an
brought
emotional one.
under trade union laws. And of course, two people today were in court and pleaded not guilty. And personally, I'm fairly confident that they've got a strong case, a strong defence. So when they go to court in March, we have to look forward to them getting off and the law being shown to not apply. For me, today, the challenge is that if they continue to threaten people with this law without charging them, then it becomes frivolous action by the police. It becomes
my job is to try
abuse of their powers. So it's quite important that if someone is threatened with arrest, that we don't just say, "Okay, I'll go." If we knew that if they knew that being arrested would lead inevitably to a conviction, then probably we'd say, well, what's the point in getting arrested to save 5 minutes? In this case, we've got to test the law. We've got to challenge them that the law they're using appears not to be the right one.
Now they're showing willingness to cut down trees on the very day that the decision was being made about the first two arrested at RavenRoad. I'm worried now, and like to know what you think about what do you think might happen between now and March 9th.
I think it's business as usual. Sheffield City Council issued an apology, but the apology made it clear that they weren't changing their policy in any way.
So what did they apologise for?
They apologised for the disturbance and the way things were done early in the morning on Rustling's Road. Quite rightly, it was completely wrong. But they're not apologising for the fact that they're determined to cut down these trees. And of course, the reason they're determined to cut down these trees is not for the trees' sake or for the residents' sake or the City Council's sake. It's because they've got themselves into a very tight corner with a badly negotiated contract that allows a big company to chop these trees down because it will save them money. Amey, the contractor, have a 20-year maintenance contract starting next year, and every big tree that's removed and replaced with a small new tree is a huge saving in maintenance cost. And because I think we believe they've written a certain number of trees to be felled, if the council don't let them fell them, there'll be penalties to pay by the council.
How many more do you think they would like to fell? I've heard different numbers.
At the moment, they've listed 1,000, or roughly 1,000, and that's probably the number that we'll see felled if we don't stop them between now and this time next year. But then during the 20-year contract, there's no reason why they shouldn't have a plan to continue felling. They can only do so much. You know, so they'll have done about 6,000 by the time they get to the end of the 5-year renewal project. The independent survey that was done of trees before this all started said that there were probably about 1,000 trees that actually needed felling. And I think most citizens would say that sounds a reasonable number. To chop down 6,000 just for the convenience of the contractor feels like a gross attack on citizens' rights.
So they've cut down 5,000 trees unnecessarily, in your view?
Something like that, yeah. By the time, as I say, by the time they're done, we think it'll be 6,000.
It's perfect health of the assessment. It's been hit. It's leaning. It's a class as discriminatory against road vehicles.
There is some damage, Andrew, as you can see, but that was never given as a reason. That was not given as a reason.
So the official reason is damage?
No, the official reason is obstruction.
Obstruction, okay.
I spoke to the... Sorry. I spoke to the supervisor and he said it was wrong.
He may not have been aware of the reason given. He just saw the damage and thought, oh, well, that's the problem.
Oh, I see. Yeah, right. So he doesn't need to know why it's coming down.
You know, if the council thought, worth saying this, if the council think that this tree is in bad health, then they should tell us, and that's a different question
If it's
altogether.
genuinely dangerous.
But they haven't said that. But the only information they've published is that it's causing an obstruction.
But it also means that for a member of the public like me, if I go and ask them why you're taking this tree down, they don't necessarily know, so they will make an assumption. And if they tell me that the tree is dying,
Yep.
I might trust them and think, great, that's the right thing to be doing.
Yes.
And if they're not telling the truth, then I would not alert, for example, the wider groom.
Absolutely, and I think that's really crucial. When you think that all the significant parts of the highway maintenance contract are top secret, they have been kept.
But I very naively assumed that at the point that they're here, the supervisor would be in a position to tell me the truth. But if he doesn't, in quotes, know the truth, then he will assume.
I have no idea what he knows, but probably he knows that there is an order to fell this tree, and he comes along and looks at it and thinks, well, it looks a bit damaged, so maybe that's the reason. So, that's it.
Right.
Was Chris standing guard here or going on the
So it's all good stuff from the point of view of showing that we mean business, really. That we have to be, because I'm not just here to defend this tree. I'm defending 1,000 trees.
It's symbolic
that people
of
love. The trees on Western Road, the memorial trees on Western Road, the lovely avenue down the road here on Montgomery Road, where they're taking all the trees down on one side of the street for a long distance. My own street, where we have lovely trees like this, and they're taking down 11 out of 12. Rustlings Road, where they fought to retain trees that provides a wonderful outlook for their houses, healthy trees, and now people are looking out of a window into a bare landscape. It's that sort of thing that's really really upsetting. We're all here because we think that the city environment is important.
I've noticed that we've talked about Amey a lot, but I've noticed that it's not Amey that's here today, it's another subcontractor.
Yes, that's quite normal. I mean, Amey have their own workers, and they have a subcontractor that does some work for them. It gives them flexibility, is what you'd expect. These particular people have been on a lot of these jobs, and they're very professional usually, and nice guys. But there's a big question we could ask the city council, which is if the people in what are often the better off areas of town really love their trees and feel that those trees are really helping their health and well-being, which has been shown by science to be the case. What's the city council doing to put trees on the streets where people are deprived of a lot of things, and of a poor local environment, and often poor health? There seems to be a kind of very half-hearted approach to this, that the city council aren't going for trees where they will really do the most good. They're putting trees where they can, but that's often on a bit of wasteland, not on a street. And it would be nice to see the city council having a really positive policy, as Liverpool have, to put trees in those little canyon streets that are like brick or stone canyons, dry, arid places with no greenery. Put greenery there, put a tree canopy there for the proven health benefits for the residents. That seems to be a real priority. And one might feel a little less cynical about the city council if they were saying, we want to do this. Just as we would like to see them promoting active travel, all the things that are good for health.
Well, my understanding is that where saplings have been planted, though, that they've been vandalised.
It does happen, and you have to say it's a tough job introducing trees in areas where they haven't been. But that's not a reason for not doing it. Of course, what it means is you probably have to really get the residents on your side. And I don't think Sheffield City Council are very good at that, sadly. Yeah.
Ideal spot for a hibernating bat, Chris. Did they check before they started, as they're obliged to?
Well, unfortunately, I didn't go through all the procedures to visit this. Because I was on my own, I just thought, bugger.
Yeah.
But you might tell our friends, actually, a bit about the bats in this area.
Well, there are bats all over this area, and they hibernate in cracks in bark, etc. And even Amey, in their surveys, say that a report a close-up inspection must be carried out prior to any felling or any interference. So, by their own rules, they should have checked this tree to make sure there aren't any hibernating
So
bats.
who would be responsible for carrying out that study? Would that be Amey PLC?
Amey have got trained people. They have got an ecologist, but we never see her. And she carries out the initial inspection by standing at the bottom of the tree. She calls it a ground survey.
Sure.
And looks up. And so far, she's never found a bat.
Okay.
Which,
Well, it's in this area. I've seen quite a few bats myself.
oh, there are lots.
Lots of bats,
Not
yeah.
at this time of year,
No,
of
of
course,
course,
because
yeah.
they're all hibernating. But yeah, it's a very batty area.
So the police have arrived. There's a policeman and there's a community liaison officer, I believe, as well. This is when it gets interesting, because then we get to find out which way this is going to go.
Because I thought it was going to be fine, so I went. I lived elsewhere, and then I came back, and
So at the moment we're on public road. It'll be interesting to see what he says. Morning.
Magistrates go to the yeah, but I'm designed to recognise we're two faces now, yeah. You can keep filming if you want, or you might want to save your batteries. I'm not going to do anything untoward.
That's fine.
I'm not going to start throwing people
So we're just
about.
interesting what you have to say, that's all.
Yeah.
I'm just going to ask you why you're here and what your intentions are.
What do you think?
Yeah, I know, I'm just asking. I'm not saying it's up to you. Like I said, keep filming if you want.
we're here to peacefully protest against the felling of our beautiful trees throughout our green city.
This one in
And-
particular,
and at
because
this
there's no
point-
notice of people on the street and it's coming down.
Right, so you haven't been notified which one's coming down.
At this point in time, we have that right.
I'm saying you haven't.
No? So we're just here peacefully.
And there's one already gone this morning.
Yeah, I noticed
Again,
that when I pulled, as I was
really
pulling up, I thought, oh, that was the
Got
top of
there
them
and
already.
packed it.
Right. But they've been previous for that, haven't they? Taking trees down before.
It's not so good.
You know, officer, you know they didn't even let that man move his car. They've covered his car and told us they didn't even give him no notice.
Right.
No one knew this was happening.
Someone needs to have a word with the...
One of my colleagues said he's spoken to her.
What do you think about it?
Do me a favour. If I give you a address in the pub, meet me there at 4:30 when I finish work and I'll tell
Which
you.
pub? Which pub?
Got
Are you local? Are you local then?
I'm not. I live at Bar. Well, I'm a Rotherham officer, but I'm a protest liaison officer. That's why I've sort of
okay.
been sent here. Because just being at Magistrates court with everyone else.
Oh
you
yeah,
know.
yeah, we were
and
there.
then they went, do you know anything about RavenRoad? No. Yeah, because we stood there. I've just been talking to Dave, and I went, Dave, you know what you're all doing here? Did you have any plans for anything anywhere else? No, why? Right, come on.
What's your instructions?
We have none.
You haven't. You've just
No
been told to
instructions.
turn up.
We've just been told to come up, ask what everyone's plans are, what you're doing, what your intentions
That's a
are,
relief.
and that is
You've not got
kind of
any
it.
dogs then this time.
Lucky if we have. I'm no responsible.
We've got a dog this time. Isn't there a dog?
I'm a responsible.
We've got our own dog this time.
Homicide. No, literally, we've just been told, come down, have a look what's going on, why, what, when, who
Yeah.
for, and report back, and that is pretty much what we're doing.
So someone's brought a banner. Save our trees, shame on you, Sheffield County Council.
Not cause any issues, well, other than nobody can get through, but I'm sure you'll.
Oh, we'd let
I'm
them
sure
through.
you'll
Oh,
have
yeah.
to allow them through. Yeah. Yes, no, I've no major concerns, unless that tree comes down, in which case. That's what I got.
So Calvin Payne has arrived, Brian Mosley's
yes.
arrived. Brian's actually already joined us on this live broadcast, so maybe he can do some commenting.
I'm ready to look at him.
Yeah. See how it goes, see how long the
I
battery
didn't know
lasts.
whether to do mine live or not. I thought I'd just go for it.
Yeah, it's been about, so that's Calvin who's arrived from the Magistrates Court. He's now got a court appearance March 9th after the actions he took on November 2nd to stop the tree being felled on Martin Road.
What's happening, Graham?
Not much, yeah. Just having a nice chat.
Thank you for
Police
that.
just arrived.
Amazing.
Amazing. Live broadcasting even on the way over here.
This is some
Why don't you go down and tell the guy in the white van not to park here? I know who he is.
Oh, he's Heldon, as in Heldon solicitor.
And
All right.
the guy in the white van is a friend of mine. Will you tell him not to park it down the street? There's nowhere he can go. So
So I'll go and ask him if you want to serve you to walk.
Thank you.
tell him Chris asked you.
Chris Rust.
Trade union representation in 1992, picketing in effect.
Right.
Wrongfully preventing someone from going about their
Oh yeah,
lawful duty.
It was by aggression or intimidation. Is it that?
It don't say that specifically on our charge, but that's what the legislation says. So they've used part of the legislation. So the Act itself goes into more detail, like hiding people's tools or following people, camping outside their house and harassing them and doing things like that. Our charge only says that we committed a small part of that. Yeah. So the legislation comes with a 6 months prison sentence. Our charge wouldn't necessarily come with some sort of discharge or a small fine. I mean, the point is that they just want to stop. They just want to make sure that they can just turn up and arrest people. That's the. I mean, you saw what happened on Marden. This long standoff and this discussion. That's what things have happened before. And on Rustage, just 2 weeks later, snatched. I mean, their arrest was not like ours. It was fast, unpleasant, against their will. Whereas we had a lot more control over what happened, as you saw. Yeah.
Your solicitor was so confident, wasn't she, that it would get thrown out?
Yeah, she's just assured us it won't go to the 9th of March, but then 3 weeks ago she assured us it wouldn't go to the 1st of December.
Well,
so.
my husband's a barrister, and he
Yeah.
said the one thing that she actually shouldn't have said is there's no chance, because actually, I mean, what they shouldn't have done is applied. The issue is they shouldn't have applied that law. It's not relevant, is it?
How do you mind I'm filming?
I don't mind you filming them.
Yeah. How did you find out about the tree today?
I was just on my way back from the court and I got the message, so I dropped my shopping off and walked straight here.
So you're on the call-out list as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe there's over 100 people on that list now, and just for this area.
Yeah,
So every.
this area,
Sorry, go ahead.
Woodstock Road.
Woodstock Road.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
want to put down.
So what's the latest on Woodstock Road?
Well, I don't know. It's gone to panel,
Okay.
which kind of means nothing so far. I think 65% of the people said they wanted to save the trees. So no, nothing's been heard. Nothing, just waiting.
So are you confident that while it's gone to panel, that nothing will happen, no trees will be cut down, or?
Not all after Rustlings Road. I'm not confident of anything. I just think it's a really tense time, and I was really hopeful today that there'd be some closure, but that it's just been put off. And I was just saying to my husband, I bet that they're trying to put some trees down while everyone's at the court, and he's like, they won't do that. So,
Yeah, I cynically expected it, but I thought they wouldn't do it. I thought it would be very bad publicity for them to cut down a tree or try to cut down a tree while we're all trying to decide whether it's the right thing to do or not, and whether people should be stopped for protesting against this. So I'm a bit disappointed in the council myself.
well, definitely, but after Rustlings Road, that's it. I thought we could get past them after a dawn raid, and the way they dealt with that was just unbelievable.
I'm not aware myself, but do you know of any trees that have been cut down since Rustlings Road, or is this the first one?
I don't think so. I think this is the first one.
This might be the first one. So they've chosen the date of the court appearance of the two people, the only two people to be charged.
Yeah.
They've chosen that day to cut down another tree. Amazing. Bye.
We've got the press on their way.
Oh, the press coming as well.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a party.
Well, I've just seen Ian White down at Magistrates. Got to be talking to him, so.
But the thing is, though, it's a nice thing that they'll see is peaceful residents talking to peaceful policemen, which
Yeah.
is what it should have been last week.
I've been, as you can probably tell by looking at me, I've been in this job a long time. I've been in some really, really serious, nasty incidents, and 98% of them I managed to resolve them by using that hole between my nose and my chin. And a lot of people seem to have lost that ability. I also train new cops, and that is the first thing I talk to people.
Yeah.
Just walk up and say, what are you trying to do? Who's here? What are you doing? Just talk to them. Ultimately, it might come to an impasse. And yes, unfortunately, our job is also at the end of the day to start locking people up, which I hasten to say, I'm not going to be twin. No. Unless my gaffer physically turns up here and says, do that, ain't happening. Certainly after speaking to the solicitor at court.
Does she think it's going to...
I don't know her personally, I know her through the job, and she is like a specialist protest solicitor, and I sort of know her through this job. I do know, I might be wrong, but as far as I'm aware, she's never lost an anti-protest case at court, so she does.
How do?
Speak to his policeman, he's very nice.
He's very nice, yeah.
Go on, what's going on?
I like standing here. I've got a face for radio.
He's not a policeman, he's from the Ministry of Silly Walks.
You're better off talking to these people, because at the minute all I know is they're not very happy about this tree coming down.
Can you speak to this guy, because he's very knowledgeable and he's very nice.
The person who's willing to be arrested for this tree. Well, we're all residents, we all live nearby.
Oh, he's the only guy that's actually stopping work at the moment.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Wow. So if we were all on the inside of that, then he wouldn't be.
If we were all on the inside, they would do what they did at RavenRoad. They would threaten us all with arrest, and they would send a van for us.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and they would also have to get more senior officers as well. This gentleman here has just told us he's not going to be arresting people unless his boss comes and tells him to. So
yeah, that's good.
Yeah, we're going to move.
We're going to move so the car can...
One of them lives at the top.
So we're just moving to let a car get past. It is a cul-de-sac, so not much through traffic. There's no through traffic. There's not much traffic at all. Taxi driver. And of course, we go from no cars moving to 2 cars moving. There's another one now.
Thank you.
Let's go on the tree. Feel free to get me in this.
So let's see what's going on here.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Just give you the full name and title.
Yeah, my name's Chris Ross, and I'm a local resident. I live around the corner from here.
Chris, is it Chris with a K?
No, it's Chris C-H-R-I-S, R-U-S-T.
You know which? It's ITV. Okay, thanks.
True public consultation.
So we've got ITV interviewing Chris Ross now about the tree on RavenRoad. RavenRoad's in S7 in Sheffield. If you're nearby, please feel free to come and join us.
Probably about 10:30. They felled a tree down here which was diseased, but this one's said to be causing an obstruction. And by the obstruction, it's a quiet cul-de-sac, and you can see the trees leading out into the road, but we only have parked cars here. It's not like a bus going by.
And how far are you prepared to go to protect this tree?
Well, friends of mine have been arrested in similar situations, and if there was a good reason, I would probably accept being arrested. The reason being that we don't want people to use spurious criminal offences to stop us doing this.
I've had a word with Carl, who's the supervisor in charge of the Amey crew. They're packing up and leaving. He's unhappy with the safety issues involved in this level of protest, and he is leaving the scene. The tree has, for the moment, been saved. Absolutely well done to Chris Ross.
Well done, Chris.
Rushing out of their houses to protect this tree, that we've achieved this tiny victory today. It's tiny because they could come back tomorrow. But these people are fantastic. They're committed. They'll go anywhere in the city if there are residents who want help with their trees.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Hello. Hello.
Can you do that the other side where the equipment is, yeah?
Thanks, Matt.
Rust, R-U-S-T. Local list. I'm actually being involved in this tree campaign. Cool. No, you see the level of support. This is just one tree. Oh, right, okay. No, they're loads of less than that. And it's all slightly, literally. We've basically held them up for a year. The longer it goes, the more they have to rethink. But the poor old city council returns because they're strapped between us and the big company that was Sheffield. I think I can step outside.
Are you sure?
I'll try. So, what time did they arrive?
So while we were all...
Yeah. Well, I was patrolling.
You don't trust them?
We don't. We knew that this was right.
I think it's the one with all the junk outside.
Oh,
Can we get this started up?
Yes.
So Amy's just, well, not Amey, Acorn, their contractors asked if they can just tidy up the branches that they've already taken down, and we're going to let them do that so they can get on the way. I had a request from Andrea to hug the tree, so I'm going to try to turn the camera around. Here I am, Andrea. Thanks very much for your support, Andrea. This really helps. The more people that look at these things and watch these videos, the better it is for our cause. Ciao to you too.
I can't believe it. Excellent.
Well done, Chris.
Well, thank you. Thanks for your effort. It's great. We need the record. We need the record. It's great. Yeah. Yeah.
This will be on the Stag Facebook group later.
Yeah. It's great. Now, have we been talking about whether we should be talking? I can't remember.
Have we been talking about?
Were you one of the people that came forward about web stuff?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So the only reason I haven't got back is that we're up to our ears in a lot of stuff this week. Yeah. We've got 3 or 4 people who come forward, so I think we're in a position to do a nice bit of work. It may be that we might ask 1 or 2 people to go and work for other groups instead, so we spread the expertise.
Well, there must be, now that we're closing in on 4,000 people on the umbrella group, there must be that expertise there. It's just a matter of finding.
Oh yeah, and actually my biggest priority is to give campaigners, supporters things to do, because so they feel involved and have a chance to feel they're.
It's very important.
It's too common that the odd person like me rushes around and other people say, "What can I do? What can I do?" I haven't got time to tell them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, we're also trying to keep people engaged in content as well. Always good to get some footage of the protester with the tree chipper in the background, as we'll see in a second.
While we were doing that, this was going on here.
Yeah, the Safe Everett Trees group left some people behind in Everett this morning because, due to past experience, certain people knowing that we're going to be gathered in one part of the city see that as an opportunity to come and sell in the parts that we'd normally be around and present. So we didn't take everybody to court, we did leave some people behind, we did leave organisation behind, and we have been again, they don't really do.
So this is Acorn packing up their equipment now. They're going to take the ropes down. This tree is going to live to see another day.
On a couple of previous occasions, we've been publicly gathered somewhere, and a felling has attempted to be carried out in Never Edge, because this is the most active part of the campaign. This is the area where people do attend and peacefully prevent felling, as you're seeing today. No, I'm sure the guys would admit that they knew we were going to be somewhere, and they've come here. Of course, it's backfired. We were ready. Yourselves are around, seeing the reality of what happens on the street. So, yeah.
I think that's only for the real tall ones.
Can you not talk to the police guy and ask them to help him move the barrier so they can get it out of the way? Is that the problem?
No, it's
And we're going to see this again and again.
Everybody out at the moment.
And whether they do some kind of photo or at least some kind of event just to kind of, say, look, taking all the trees.
Because we have a concern here about the health and safety. If they don't have the documentation on them and aren't prepared to respond, that should be recorded. He's doing
We're just going to end it there for now. Thanks everyone for joining. If I get an opportunity to do this again, I will, and looking forward to seeing you all again. Thanks very much.